Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, in the third chapter, we saw how gods and asuras, gods, godly forces, asuras, ungodly forces. Ungodly forces were conquered by the gods, and these gods became very arrogant as a result of that victory, and they started boasting that I killed so many of them. Did you see my shot? Did you see how I shot? Did you see how I cut his head? And blah blah blah. They were patting their own backs and each other's back for the well fought war and a victorious war. And as they were indulging in this self praise and arrogant about it, including Indra, the god of mind. And who are the other gods? The sun god, the fire god, the water god, the moon god, and the Maruts and Dikpals, etc., etc., all of them. So, at that time, a yaksha, an apparition, came about in the sky, and the moment it came, all the gods looked at, "Arey, who is this? What is this bright looking thing which has come, and who is it?" Then Indra said, and all the gods together said, "Hey, Agni, fire, you go and check out." So he went. I'm telling very quickly the whole story. You go and check. So Agni went. Agni means fire. Fire went to that yaksha, to that apparition, and the moment he approached there, he saw him, and the yaksh said, "Hey, introduce yourself, who you are." And he says, "I am Agni, I am the Jata Veda. Because of me, all the forms in the universe are possible. Because space has got no form, air has got no form, fire is the first element which has the form. So he says, I have given to form, and if I increase my heat, everything I can burn and destroy." So, in order to teach this Agni a lesson, the yaksha, he put a blade of grass in front of him, and he said, "Oh Agni, oh Jataved, if you can burn this blade of grass, then I will believe that you are really the strong one. If not, give up this mithya abhiman, give up this false arrogance that you are strong." So he tried all his strength to burn the blade of grass, and he was not able to burn, and eventually he turned around, defeated, came back, and when all the gods asked him what happened, he says, "I don't know. Who was he? I don't know." Because he felt so ashamed and felt so belittled. Then Vayu said, "Oh, I will go and check." And Vayu went. So Vayu, the air element, it went, and when it went there, he also was asked the same question. He was also not able, he was told, and he was also not able to destroy the blade of grass, and he also returned from the yaksha with a what you call bent head. And when he was asked by other gods, "Oh, who was he? Did you find out?" "I don't know." He came back. Then everyone said, now Indra, the god of mind, god of mind. Who is Agni? Agni is fire. Where does fire express in our body? Because the entire universe in the creation, the entire cosmos, our scriptures show it in our body. We are the micro, that is the macro. So where is the sun, how is the fire element expressing out there in the sun, outside, as the sun and the moon and the fire, isn't it? This is where the source of light is. So where is the sun and moon and the fire within us? The right eye is the sun, the left eye is the moon, the speech is the fire, and another place, the Jathara Agni, the digestive fire also we call it as fire only, no? But here, speech, we are talking more on contemplation, we are not talking about digesting food. So, enjoy the recap, okay? Because I got some people, boys here and a couple here who have not heard the story. So, otherwise go to sleep, doesn't matter. So Indra was intrigued that how come Agni Devata, means the vision, how come the Vayu Devata or the speech, they came back and they couldn't defeat him. Vayu Devata also, the god of the wind also could not defeat him. He also came back. I must go and check. And he went, and the moment he went there, he had, like you have a lightning. He had a teeny meeny minuscule vision, and that apparition vanished from there. But unlike our Agni god, unlike our vision, which are extrovert, isn't it? You cannot, when you try to look with your own eyes at your own eyes, all the forms will go away. But eye gives up after some time, or it gets afraid that, hey, there's nothing to look, there's nothing to get a contact with. See? Speech also, if you are chanting Ram, 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 and Ram doesn't come and give you darshan, then you lose the focus and you become disinterested in taking the name of the Lord if the faith is not there. So this is the case of Vayu and Agni. But our Indra Devata, the god of the mind, that is why he is the Lord, he is the overlord of all the other faculties, all the other elements. When he goes, he doesn't come back. When he finds no one there, he had a split of a second, he saw something, then it vanished, Yaksha vanished, and he said, there was something there, man. What was it? Who was it? Where has it gone? And I think it was an imagination of my mind. He didn't say that and come back. He stayed there. That is why he's the Indra. He waited and waited. He kept looking at that spot. What is that spot? Emptiness, blankness. There's no objectivity. There's nothing to see, hear, touch, feel, taste. It's just nothing. This is what your night sleep is. Nothing. No thoughts. This is what your meditation should be. Nothing. But you should be awake. If you can do it, fantastic. You are there. So Indra kept looking. And what was his quality of looking? He kept looking with inspiration. He kept looking with faith. He kept looking with dedicated focus. He remained single pointed. He did not allow doubts to come and interfere in his mind. And he did not expect a particular result because he doesn't know what it was. So that is very important. Not wanting a answer in a particular way. And as he was waiting, then Mother Uma, Shiva's wife, Lord Shiva's wife, she appeared, and when she appeared, that's how the 4th chapter begins. And this is what we saw. Sa brahmeti hovacha brahmano va etad vijaye mahiyadhvam iti tato hi eva vidanchakara brahmeti. So she is the Brahma Vidya, she is the goddess of knowledge incarnate. Again, deep sleep at individual level. What will be deep sleep at totality level? At totality level, there is sun. At individual level, there is right eye. Totality level, there is moon. Individual level, there is right eye. Totality level, there is the Agni, fire element. At individual level, it is the speech. Same way, what is the if deep sleep is the individual unknown, what will be the total unknown? The word for it is avyakta, the unmanifest. She is the wife of Shiva. She alone expresses as known and unknown. That is, life is, you look at nature, there is a continuous flux, air moves in flux, all the waves of frequencies, they move, go up and down, isn't it? It's not a straight line. So what is that? So sometimes it is unmanifest, sometimes it is manifest, sometimes it is unmanifest. That's your whole life every day. Waking and dream is manifest, deep sleep is unmanifest. When I am looking, it is objective vision. I blink my eyes, vision is gone. Again the same thing. So what is this at totality? Totality level, she is the Uma Devi. And that Uma Devi chooses, because Indra, the mind, has become so focused, and without expectation, with full faith, he is waiting there. This is our quality we should develop. When we come to the seat of meditation, or as a result of our sadhana, we have come to that point where there is no objectivity, no thoughts, no forms, no words in our mind. Sometimes it happens by God's grace, sometimes it always happens by God's grace, but for some people it happens for no reason, and for some people it comes as a result of sadhana. Now, what is your disposition at that time? Your disposition should be just as our Indra's disposition is. And he is looking, and at that time, Brahman is the infinite reality. He doesn't need to take any form. So, because mind, the Upanishads say, yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha, which means the reality cannot be known, cannot be illumined by the words, nor can it be comprehended by the mind. So if that is the truth, then how will Indra come to know who this apparition was? Because mind has gone now senses are not going. Before, senses went. So the pranas means also ghrana, the smelling, and Agni was the Surya and Chandra. So they were going, but now it's the mind. Mind is higher than them. You are not using you use your physical senses to look outside, but in your dream you are not using your physical senses, but you are still seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting, isn't it? So you are not, Indra is not even using those, or even if he has those, he is not utilizing them. He doesn't want to see a form, he doesn't want to hear a word, he doesn't want to smell something, he doesn't want to touch anything. He is available without any expectation to what will happen. But he has this conviction that there was something. We also have a conviction that there is something I am, but where am I, what am I, where am I? If we are trying to work it out, our intellect, we go to sleep because we can't handle it, we can't work it out. It's not something to be worked out, it has to be revealed. So same thing Indra is doing. So this is the quality that we have to cultivate within our mind. And as a result of that, here Uma Parvati, or she comes and she says, and immediately looking at her, the beautiful form, she's decked in all the jewels, and he says, hey, who was that? But he intuitively, Indra or the mind, intuitively comes to know that she is the consort of that one whom I am searching. Intuitively, because he is pure, he is not allowing his mind to be corrupted by any thoughts or ideas. So, and knowing that this beautiful lady who has come in front of him is none other than Uma, that also comes from inside only. And he asks, great lady, who is this whom I am, who I just saw and he vanished? And she said that Brahmanova etad vijaye. She said that sa brahmeti. She says that was Brahman. It is because of he is of the nature of not only Satchidananda, he is of the nature of victory. Here it says Brahmano va etad vijaye. All of you have won because of him who is ever victorious. So your victory, you are having the arrogance that we have won the war, we have won the war, we have won the war. If he is not there, you have got no existence. Just like all these gods who are here, Sun, Moon, Ashwini Kumar, Dikpals, Indra, Vishnu, Shiva, Rudra. When you do your Rudram, it comes in the Lagunyas, no? All the parts of the body. That's exactly what it is. But if life is not there in this body, can all these gods in this body function? Can all these faculties function? Not possible. So Uma is telling Indra that all of your existence itself depends upon him. He is ever victorious, so you are victorious. Give up your false arrogance. Don't think that because of your efforts you have become successful. It is because. So how should we work in our life then? We should work with this attitude that whatever activity or whatever efforts I am putting, those efforts are being inspired by some higher. Whatever the result of the efforts is, don't own it. Again, offer it back to the higher, or even don't even focus on it. Next activity, next activity, next activity. Because when we get attached to the result, then we want that. If the result is good, we want it again. If the result is bad, we don't want it again. Then we get caught up in desire. So here, this we had seen last week, and then we came to the second verse, and there we saw what? Tasmadva ete deva aditaram iva anyan devanya क्या है यार देवान्यद अग्निर्वायुः इंद्रस्ते येन नेदिष्टं पस्पृशुस्ते येन प्रथमः विदांचकार ब्रह्मेति. And because Agni and Vayu, because fire and the air, the Vayu, they both had come very close. They became very close to the reality, the Yaksha. Therefore, they are praised and propitiated everywhere. You cannot live without air. You cannot, you continuously the homam. What is homam? Nothing but Agni. You invoke the Agni to which you put the Ahoti. You are seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting. These are all this body is a product of Agni only. Without Agni you cannot have a form. Isn't it? And you have to continuously keep offering the ahutis for the senses and the mind and the body to function. If you don't eat food, you will vanish. So here it is told that because Agni and Vayu and Indra, fire, air and the god of the mind Indra, they because they had proximity to the Yaksha, therefore they are so praiseworthy among all. Because there are other gods also. Dikpalas are there. There is Surya there is Varuna Devata. There is Maruts. There are Aditya, different Adityas. Why do we not pray to them? Why only mainly these? Because they had the proximity to the yaksha or to the reality. And because Indra came to know that it was Brahman, it was the reality, that yaksha was the reality, and when he came back, he went and told Agni and Vayu, hey, the one whom you interacted with, the one who asked you questions, the one who presented the blade of grass in front of you, oh, that is Brahman, hamare Parampita, our essence, our reality. Without him, we are nothing. And they also understood, and they felt immediately Krutakrutyata, they felt very blessed that we had the chance to communicate and be in the proximity of our infinite Father or infinite essence, yeah? in this manner. Till where did we come? I don't remember. किसी को पता है क्या कहाँ तक किया था? Have we done this or we have to go ahead? Hari Om everyone.
I think last time you read shloka number 3 and said we will carry on next time.
Okay, so third पे आया, हाँ, यस्माद् अग्नि वायु अपि इंद्र वाक्यादेव चिदांचक्रतुः इंद्रेण हि उमा वाक्यात् प्रथमं श्रुतं ब्रह्मेति. Because Agni and Vayu came to know about Brahman from the words of Indra, therefore they also came to the conclusion that this is the Brahman, this is the infinite, that whom they communicated, talked to, was the infinite reality. तस्माद्वा इंद्रो अतितराम एवान्यान देवान सह्येन दिष्टम पस्पर्श सह्येन प्रथमोचिदांचकार ब्रह्मेति. So Indra is greater than, more, is the overlord of all other gods, because he went closest to the he went closest to the yaksha, or to the place where yaksha was, and he did not choose to come back like Agni and Vayu. So what is Agni? Again, I'll come back one step. What is Agni? When you want a form of a infinite reality. Infinity has got no form. But when you are insisting that I need to see the form of the infinite, then you go to the temple. Right? And we have been given such a beautiful variety of gods depending upon our mental makeup, that we can choose whoever, or we get attracted to something or the other, isn't it? But that is all because we are at the Agni level. We want to communicate, we want to belong to something, and that something, we know it is reality, but that reality, I feel comfortable that if there is a form. If someone told you, hey, your parents are invisible, but you came into existence, you will be a mental case. My parents, where are my parents? You want to interact. You want to interact. You want to touch. You want to feel. You want to hug. You want to embrace, which you can do with the form, isn't it? Without form, you cannot do that. So, naturally, we'll talk more about it in the coming verses. And Vayu, or another way is you take the name of the Lord. So here he says that the Indra, because Indra he did not return from there. That is why he stayed there. He persisted. He did not accept defeat. He did not get distracted. And therefore, because of his persistence, because of his single-pointed purpose, focus, that brought about the Uma, the Parvati, to come in front of him and tell him the answer. How can infinite give you answer? Answer will always come to you from the energy only. Energy. So if you take Brahman, the infinite, and his potentiality, Uma. Okay. Atma, the infinite, its potentiality, the mind. Exactly the same relationship. Exactly the same relationship. So who is asking the question? Who was that? Is Atma asking the question? No. Who was asking? The mind was asking the question. Mind was asking, and mind wanted some answer. It was waiting. And who gave the answer? The total mind gave the answer. Who is the total mind? It is not Ishvara. The total mind is the Uma, the Avyakta. And she has the freedom because she's the she knows, Uma knows, she is the other half of the infinite, the Ishvara. So she took the form and appeared in front of the Indra and gave him the answer that it was Brahman, that was Brahma. And therefore Indra is the lord of all the other gods. And here it says in the Bhashya, Tasmadvai Indraha Atitaram iva Atirasherata iva Anyan Devan. Therefore Indra is greater than as compared to other gods, because he had touched the reality more closely than any other gods. And how did he come touch the reality closely? I told you, Agni Devta and Vayu Devta, they talked, they saw, but they returned without inquiring into who is he. Whereas Indra inquired, went, waited, persevered. The other half of that reality, Uma, came, appeared, and gave him the answer. So he came back with an answer. Others came back without answer. So who has more proximity? Yes, they saw, they felt, but Indra came to know. So therefore he is greater than the others. Sahyena nedishtam pasparsha yasmat sahyenat pratamaha chidanchakara brahmeti ukta artham vakyam. And it says Sahyena nedishtam parasparsa yasmat. He only came to know. He was the first one to come to know that this is Brahman, and this was already told before. So now Indra has come to know what is the purpose of your life. Now remember two things. Indra is objectively searching for the answer. So he went at this empty spot where he had seen, and then that yaksha vanished, that apparition vanished, and he kept looking, and then he got the answer. How? Again from Uma came, the Parvati Amma came, and she gave him an answer. How did she give him an answer? Through speech. So how does your mind function? With thoughts only, no? So he came to know it by way of thoughts. Anything that you come to know by way of thoughts is conditioned Brahman. Conditioned Brahman means Ishvara. Ishvara is the conditioned Brahman. So what is conditioned space? Earth space is conditioned space. What is space? Is the space greater? Yes, if you look at it, that's a larger conditioned space will be that space which is conditioned by the what do you call by our solar system. Even greater conditioned space will be that space which is occupied by the Milky Way, isn't it? And you can keep going. So, but is space conditioned? It is by nature infinite. So Indra is the god of the mind. So when you search by the mind objectively, you can only come to a certain conclusion at an objective level, which is conditioned Brahman. But is the reality a topic of discussion for the mind? Or are you the reality in essence? Do you know the mind comes and goes? Do you know the mind becomes manifest and unmanifest? Do you know the mind sees, hears, touches, feels, tastes? Do you know that the mind has thoughts and sometimes it doesn't have thoughts? So which means you must be other than the mind, because you know it. I know you, for I am not you. And when I know you and I know him, I know that in between there is no one. There is no knowledge taking place there. You see? So because I know you, I am other than you. This is how knowledge is taking place in the entire universe. I see this laptop, I know this is a laptop, I know this laptop, I am not the laptop. This is a camera, I know this is a camera, I am not the camera. This is Seema, I know Seema, I am not Seema. This is a chair, I know this is a chair, I am not the chair. This is how knowledge is going on. You are not saying these sentences all the time, but this is what the knowledge is taking place, isn't it? Now watch. When we come to this body, this is a body. I know this is a body. Then the rule must continue that I am not this body. But when it comes to I am this body, gone. This is the problem of Indra. That's why he doesn't want to leave his seat. Then he gets into trouble all the time. So as long as I function through the mind, as the mind, in the mind, then my experience will be only objective in nature. And if mind is a result of space-time objectivity conditioning, I can only experience the reality which is a conditioned reality, because mind is conditioned. How can it come to know the unconditioned? Not possible. You understand? This is the secret. So we have to understand both. One is the conditioned. So what is conditioned reality? This entire cosmos is the conditioned reality. Where is this whole cosmos? Where is this whole experience? It is in the mind only. So mind is the conditioned Brahman. Mind itself is the conditioned Brahman. And who are you? The one who knows the mind. You are the unconditioned one. Kene Shitam, you are that source. And you are not other than that infinite. Anyway, so having told this, all this was not given here. This is all my extra mirch masala to make it tasty. Now, the topic is over here. Upanishad is over in the sense the teaching is over. And the instructions by Uma to Indra are over. Now Adesh, instructions are given by the Kenopanishad with regards to the practices. And what is the first one? The first one is Adhidaiva Adesh. With regards to what? With regards to Brahman. Tasyaisha Adeshaha Yadetad Vidyuto Vyadyutada iti Nyamimishada ityadidaivatam. So he says, Tasyaisha Adesho Yat Etad Vidyuto Vyadyutada iti Nyamimishada ityadidaivatam. or iti adhidaivatam, if you break it up, that Brahman with regards to upasana. Upasana means some practice. And what is that practice? Upa means near, asana, asana means sitting. So like right now you are sitting and listening, so you are doing upasana right now. For 1.5 hours you are doing upasana. What is the quality of upasana? Is it with interest? Is it with faith? Is it with doubt? Is it with conviction? Is it with focus? Is it with calm, cool, collected environment inside your mind when you are approaching this knowledge, which is Brahma Vidya? Remember, these were the qualities with which Indra approached. Even he did not get answer, he was having all these qualities. That's why Brahma Vidya appeared in the form of Uma and gave him the answer. So is our mind available to this knowledge? Are we have we inculcated these qualities? So here the Upanishad is saying, Shruti Mata is saying that with regards to upasana, this is the instruction given. What is the instruction? The first example is Vyadyuttada. Vyadyuttada means like a lightning. Lightning comes, how long does it last? Only few seconds, not even few seconds. It's a flicker, clack, and gone, isn't it? It cracks and lights up the whole sky for a moment, and then it vanishes. So here he is saying, and the other example that he is giving here is that which is available in a blink of an eye. So you do like this, I saw you, but next moment it was you, whatever I am seeing is not available. Next moment it is available, but sometimes it could be the same. Sometimes I am continuously moving. What am I seeing? Is it the same? Yeah, I understand it's the whole same room. I know you are there. But if I am looking at him and I blink, suddenly after the blink, I have already, it's not the same position. It's a flick. Blink also is, it is a measure of time. I have sent that measure of time on the Gita class and the Thursday class. Trillionth of a till the trillionth our scriptures have calculated it, and in that this blink is one of the nimisha is the blink. It's one of the measurements. So here it's told that that one who appears in a blink, who appears momentarily like a flash of lightning and then vanishes, that is the Adidaiva Roop. Adidaiva means, what is Adidaiva? The Prakriti, the world we know is of three types. What is that? One is the gross world, right? One is the subtle world, and one is the so gross world is called Adi Bhautik world, Srishti. Then the Adi Daivik, which we are talking about here. What is Adi Daivik? Where all the gods, the various product, all those, in other words, which our teacher told us, so I will repeat it. All those things which are within your control is Adi Bhautik. All those things which are outside your control are Adi Daivik. And that which is coming from within, that is Adhyatmik. So here we are talking about Adi Daivik. You don't create a lightning, it comes and it goes. You don't create a rainbow, it comes and it goes. You don't create sunrise or sunset, it comes and it goes. You don't create disease, it comes and it goes. You didn't, the Mahamari which has come now, this is Adi Daivik. It is not till we find out. But whoever was instrumental in it, still it is Adi Daivik, because no answer right now, the way it is spreading. Similarly, so many things are there in our life. The scripture is bringing our mind to it, that anything that comes in your life, anything that happens in your life, a great moment, it happens for no reason. Now, today I got a good news, a great moment. Yes, no, he did it. Our attention, whatever comes as a flash of realization, a flash of knowledge, an unexpected, wonderful news you get, understand it is the expression of that Adi Daivik. It is the expression of that infinite reality in the form of that flash. Don't take it because of my efforts. Don't take it because of the God. No, it is because of Him. He alone appeared as that flash of good news, bad news, fantastic news, as that lightning, as that blink of an eye, whatever. So here those two examples were taken. Tasya prakritasya brahmanah esha adesha upamopadeshah nirupamasya brahmano yena upamanena upadeshah soyam adesha ityuchyate. So, with regards to that Brahman, to that reality, in that regards, this is the instruction, this is the Upamopadesh. Upamopadesh means this is with an example, we can compare it to such an example. Reality cannot be compared with anything because it is one without a second. There is nothing like it. Then how will we understand it? How will the mind understanding it? Indra is the mind, no? We are thinking with our mind as a seeker because we are objective in our approach, remember. So how will our mind understand? It needs some examples, it needs some similes, it needs some words, it needs some upama, something it can be compared to. So how did that reality appear in front of Indra? Just like that lightning that we see in our life, just like that blink of an eye. That is how the reality appeared in front of Indra. So just like there is an eye, but your eyes can never see themselves. Similarly, the mind knows that there is a power, but that mind can never come to know that power. Why? Because mind is a conditioned entity. Mind is a conditioned entity. And what is that reality because of which the mind is functioning? Unconditioned. Conditionings are space, time and objectivity. Einstein's theory of E is equal to mc square is only at the mind level. Our Upanishads are talking about beyond the mind. What they say, that energy converts into mass and mass is never destroyed, it only gets converted back to energy. What is that? Waking and dream, manifestation and non-manifestation. Our scriptures, thousands, eternal, they have been propagating this knowledge. It is not new. And by the example with which we talk about that untalkable reality, soyam adesha iti uchyate, that those examples, those ideas, those words which are limited, words are limited, ideas are limited, examples are limited, those with which we talk about that Brahman, that is said to be as Adesh, that is said to be as an instruction. And in this way, Kim Tat, what is that Adesh? What is that instruction? Yadetat prasiddham loke vidyutaha vidyutad vidyotanam krutavaditye tad anupapannam iti vidyutonam iti kalpayate. I already explained all this, what they are talking about. that that the lightning, when it appears, what does it show you? Can you see well, you can see lightning in the daytime also, no doubt. But is that lightning brighter than the sun at that time when it appears? It is, isn't it? In the night also, it lights up everything. So here it is saying that Vyadyutat means that it gave light, it spread light, it manifested light. Then ityupam artha. Then this is only an again क्या कहते हैं, it's technical that it is only an avyaya. Avyaya means something that is added to the sentence. It's not required, yet it is added. Vidyuto vidyotana vidyotanam ive iti artah yatha sakrud vidyutam iti shrutyantare cha darshanat. In other words, that yaksha, that reality which Indra saw, is similar to the lightning. It appears and it went away. Similarly, that yaksha came and yaksha went away. Understand it in this manner. Vidyud iva hi sukrudatmanam darshayitva tirobhutam brahma devebhyah. By other shrutis also it is seen that this Brahman, he appeared in front of these gods and then vanished. Just like lightning comes and goes away, similarly he also came and went away. And in this way, athava, another meaning could be athava vidyutah tejah ityadhyaharyam. Vidyut, that if teja is added in front of it, Vyadyutad vidyotita titavat iva. Again, means that it is just an avyaya filler, and it has to be understood vidyutat as that prakashit, that it illumined. Before it was that it was a flash of light, now it is said it is illumined. And then vidyutas tejaha sukrut vidyodita va tava divetya bhiprayah. Diveti vidyutas tejaha sakrut vidyotitavad tava diveti abhiprayah. Therefore, it can also be taken as ki it appeared like the lightning once and then went away. No lightning appears two times. It only appears once. No two lightnings are similar. See, every time you blink, what is your experience? If you take lightning, no lightning appears twice. If you take your blinking of an eye to be a lightning, because in the lightning you see, in the night you see everything, isn't it? Suddenly. So when you close your eyes, you don't see anything. Suddenly you open, you see. What do you see? Do you see the same thing, or do you see everything new every time? Do you see your sun, the same sun every time? Do you see this body as the same body every time? Do you see this house as the same every time? Do you see the world as the same world every time? Every time you are blinking and opening your eyes, are you available to the absolute newness that is presenting itself, or are you stuck to the memory of it? See? So reality is available only in the here and now. But our mind, because it is functioning with understanding and memory, and so it sees the continuity. It is not seeing the newness. That's why sometimes parents say to the children, no, as a child you didn't know, you are not like that. Now you are behaving like this. Why? Their child has grown. Parents are still the parents of that young child only. Child has grown. So if children are teenagers, parents also have to grow up and become teenage parents. But no, they are continuing to be my putta, my putti, my chittu, my chintu. और वो फंस जाते हैं because they are unable to see, they are unable to change, or they choose not to change. So what is, because world is ever presenting itself afresh every moment. Is the breath that you are taking the same stale breath again and again and again, or every breath is a fresh breath? Exactly the same way. Is it the same word that you are hearing all the time, or is it a new word every time? Every time your mom calls you by Rajat, is it the same Rajat? She is different, she is in a different mood, she is in a different environment. So much has happened between the first time she called you Rajat and the second time she called you Rajat, isn't it? So, are you seeing it? Are you hearing that word Rajat as if it's the first time? This is the problem with us individuals. We are not living in the moment. We are not available to the freshness of the moment. Because every moment is absolutely fresh, absolutely new, absolutely unique. Being unavailable to it, we are in ego. Being available to it, we are with the conditioned Brahman. Think. If you transcend, if you don't go into that, you are with it, and you are that one. How beautiful. इति शब्द आदेश प्रतिनिर्देशार्थः इत्ययम् आदेश इति शब्द is used to indicate the word to indicate the instruction that is being given, and to direct our mind towards it. It shabdah samuchchayarthah, and therefore, in other words, this word adesh, this is the instruction to tell you this. This word iti has been used. Then now from ayam onwards, adi bhautik is told. Adi bhautik is the gross. If you are tired, you can sit up, no problem. We are not used. Ayam cha aparastasya adeshaha. Apart from this above instruction, there is this could be another instruction. What is that? Kos asau. What is that? Nyamimishad yatha chakshuhu nyamimishad nimesha krutavat. Listen. What do you listen? What to listen? The way in which I have already given you the example of the blinking of the eye. He is now coming to the blinking of the eye. Why? Because I have already read it, and so it has come out. So what is that? Another example is that just like the nimishad means this nimesh, the blinking of the eye. Same way, Every time when you blink an eye, I am telling you already that it's a new world. Similarly, He is appearing you. Are you in that moment where you are able to be available to the newness of the reality appearing in this conditioned form to you every moment? Every moment. Every time you hear, touch, feel, taste, think. Are you available to the newness? Are you available to the freshness? And that's the example that he is taking here. Swarte nincha. Again, this is the pratyaya that is used there. Upamartha eva akaraha. Then is for the purpose of example. Chakshusho vishayam prati prakashati 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 robhava iva chayati arthaha. In this manner, when the objects are hidden from the eyes, this is the understanding, and in this manner, iti adhidaivatam devata vishayam brahmana upamana darshanam. In this manner, Brahma is how he appears as a adhidaiva, as a conditioned Brahman, that to instruct about that, this example, this simile was of lightning and a blink of an eye was taken. Now he takes the lightning which was taken, it was Adi Daivik Upadesh. Blink of an eye, is it in your control or not in your control? Is lightning in your control? No. So it is out of your control, Adi Daivik. Is blinking in your control? Yes and no. But where is it? It is in the eye. Whose eye? My eye. It's in your body. It is gross. So Adi Bhautik. And now we come to Adhyatmik. So here, Athadhyatmam yadetad gacchati vacha mano anena chaitad upasmarati abhikshanagam sankalpaha. Athadhyatmam yadetad gacchati vacha mano anena chaitad upasmarati abhikshanagam sankalpaha. So as I said, this is the instruction with regards to Adhyatmik. And what is that? Adhyatmik is that which is within. What is within? We are not talking about blood, bone, fecal matter. We are talking about your antakaran. We are talking about your inner faculties. We are talking about your mind, intellect, memory and ego. We are talking about your, in other words, put all this in one way, we are talking about your thoughts, which appear not in the body, they appear in your, well, if you take all the panchakoshas, then they appear in your body, but not only the physical body, they appear in your mind. Indra is the god of mind. So Adhyatmik now. What is that? Apart from that, now the instruction of Adhyatma Upasana. So now see how beautifully the Shruti is telling us. First it told us any unwanted events that take place in your life, like lightning. Tell me some other uncalled for events taking place in your life. Accident, heart attack. What else?
Flood.
Flood. Corona.
Yeah. Accident.
In the middle of the night, you are having a wonderful sleep. The boss comes and says, "Come on, out for training." Unwanted. You can't do anything. Right? Adi Daivik, which are not in your control. Any events taking place, erupting, happening in your life without you expecting or demanding or wanting or desiring, take them to be expressions of the divine. This is not to put him on a high pedestal. It is not to escape from what is taking place. It is to reformat our mind so that it becomes divine oriented. And divine is all powerful, it is all pervasive, and it has n number of expressions. And what are the n number of expressions? The first case that is taken is all the special events, uncontrolled events in your life. Then second example was taken, blinking of an eye. Same thing again. So first it was uncontrolled events. Here we are talking about controlled events. So you are investing somewhere, you get a good return or you may lose. You take an injection, you went to the doctor, you took the jab. Some people don't get pain, you get pain. Some people come back healthy and your relative die. Whatever, I'm not going into that. But what I'm saying is, just like in India, so many people went by choice, but they didn't come back home. Because why? Majority of them died out of anxiety, because they did not interact with the situation in the right frame of mind. What should be our right frame of mind? That whatever efforts I am putting in life, whatever actions I am doing in life, just like a blink of, every time I am moving this hand, you are seeing my hand moving every time. It's not in the same position, it's not in the same angle, it's not in the same order. Same thing, whatever I am seeing, every time I am seeing new. So even at the Adi Bhautik level, understand that whatever you see, hear, touch, feel, taste by choice is also an expression of the divine alone. It is also conditioned Brahman. It is also an expression of the divine. So special events, uncalled for, are also divine events. By choice, I have come to your house for bhiksha, by choice, divine event. So convert your Adi Bhautik Srishti. Your Adi Bhautik means your gross interaction with the world into a divine interaction. So whatever you are hearing, smelling, teaching, feeling, etc., you understand that your attention, if I am looking at Dinesh, my eyes are looking at Dinesh, but is my mind transported to the reality which is appearing at this moment? Is the objective interaction transporting me, transporting the mind and bringing it to the proximity of the divine experience, to that infinite divinity? If this is taking place with every stimuli, then I'm there. Then I don't need a special event. But can we stop special events from happening? No. Special events will still happen. Every day is not a Sunday. Again Monday will come. You have to go to work. Special event. See? So how I can convert my experience of life into a continuous abidance in the divine experience. That's the purpose. Kene Shitam. What is that which inspires? So do I just want to know it by my intellect and then that's it and continue suffering all the time afterwards? Yeah, I know the answer, but I am suffering. How does it help me? How do I make it practical? How do I implement it in my daily life? So your life is divided by Those events which are in your control, Adi Bhautik. Those events which are out of your control, Adi Daivik. And those events which are happening inside your mind, majority of the time we are talking to ourselves. Understand all these three expressions are expressions of the divine. But now these are objective approaches. So you know your mind is thinking, you know eyes are seeing, you know ears are hearing, you know nose is smelling. So all this is objective. So while all this objective experience is taking, is the mind with every stimuli transported to the reality, is transported to the common denominator, is transported to seeing the expression of that divine as that special event. It's not that event is special. That interaction with that event must transport the mind to that infinite reality. Then slowly, every moment, wherever we go, this is how Mahatmas are functioning. They are also thinking, they are also talking, they are also hearing, seeing, hearing, touching, feeling, tasting. Then how come we are also doing the same? How come they are abiding in the reality and we are not abiding in reality? Something is amiss. This is amiss. And in this way, so here it is told that mano anena chaitad upasmarati abhikshanagang sankalpaha. Wherever the mind goes, again I told you from the senses point of view. Now we come to the mind. So we have seen the first two, Adi Bhautik and Adi Daivik and Adi Bhautik, now Adhyatmik. Adhyatmik is your mind, where the thoughts are. How does the mind go anywhere? By thinking only, by sankalpa. So wherever the mind goes, is it recognizing the reality there? Are you, when you interact with him, are you interacting with the husband or are you interacting with the reality? Question is that. At the Vyavahar level, he is your husband. At the Vyavahar level, he is separate to you. At the Vyavahar level, these kids are separate to you, they are your children. But in your mind, what is the khichdi that is getting cooked? Is there conviction in the mind that they are all one? I am not separate to them. They are not out of emotion, not out of attachment, not out of infatuation, not because you have given birth to these kids, not because you have got married to him, not because of that, because of that common denominator. Is our attention on that common denominator? So eyes are looking outwards, but is the mind attentive about the constant principle which is uniting us all these equipments? Because that is Brahman, it is infinite, it is all pervading, there is no place. So, okay, come one step lower. When you are looking at all these three fellows and your body, are you available to the space which is common to all four of you? Very rarely we think about space, isn't it? Is your attention on, oh, I am breathing, oh, I think he's also breathing, I think he's also. Is your attention on the common breath which is being breathed by all of you? Because it's the one air. But when you take yourself to be one body, then it is I am breathing. But it is the one air which is being breathed by all the humanity and all the living beings. It is the one space which is providing accommodation to all the bodies. Is our attention going to that? Is our attention going to the principle of vision, which is functioning not only through my eyes but from behind all the eyes? Just like you accept without questioning that gravity is common to all, isn't it? The rules of the Australian government are common to all the people living in Australia. You accept it, you don't question it. We are rotating around the sun. We don't question it. That much are we accepting the oneness, that the Brahman, the self within, because what was the story? Because the Brahman is victorious, therefore gods are victorious. Gods have got no existence apart from the Brahman. Gods, all gods everywhere. So, and Indra is your mind. So, is your mind convinced with this information, with this knowledge? Is it doing this upasana? Meaning, is it sitting near this knowledge so that it can suss out that with every experience through the senses that is taking place is an experience of the divine? See? Then truly the upasana is taking place. Then that Nirgun Nirakar Brahma or Sagun Sakar. Sagun Sakar is not the one in the temple. Okay, good. Sagun Sakar is this entire physical universe that you are in. This is the Saguna Sakar. The reality with form is this world. And this world is again at three places, na? Adi Bhautik, Adi Devik and Adhyatmik. So there is a world within. You can call it the dream world. That is also an expression of that one alone. The physical world, that is also an expression of the one within, the one infinite. And at our individual level, the mind is itself nothing but that divine infinite. When interacted, first it is understanding. These two verses are, the Shruti is saying, these are the upasanas. The teacher is saying, hey, the student is saying, yeah, I understand, how do I? So Shruti is preempting the question and giving you the practice that needs to be brought about with alertness. Atha anantaram, क्या टाइम हो गया? 8:45. अथ अनंतरम अध्यात्मम प्रत्यगात्म विषय आदेश उच्यते. So now adhyatma, adhyatma, in other words, the instruction with regards to the self within, pratyag atma. Pratyag atma is the immediate self, which knows the mind is functioning, which knows the thoughts are, the one who knows the senses are functioning, the one who knows the body is, the one who is, without whom these faculties cannot function. That because of which all these faculties are functioning is pratyag atma, is your true nature, true self. With regards to that, the instruction is being given. What is the instruction? Yadetad gacchati vana manaha. And what is the first? Yatetat gacchati vacha manaha. It is that the one who knows that the mind comes and goes, the one who knows what is mind. How do you know the mind is coming and going? Do you know the mind when it has got no thoughts? No, there is nothing. So you know the mind only when thoughts are there. Or if you want to take it at a total level, you know the mind is expressing as the waking, mind is expressing as the dream, mind is expressing as the sleep. Every day it is happening. Do you know that these three come and go every day? Yes, I know. Who is that? That is the self. Because waker, you are the waker right now, you cannot know what happened in the dream. Because waker has to die in order for dreamer to come, be born. Dreamer has to die in order for sleeper to be born. Sleeper has to die in order for waker to be born. This is your daily story, isn't it? Then when I say that yesterday you had the experience of waking, dream and sleep, and you are nodding, who is this fellow? It cannot be the waker, it cannot be the dreamer, it cannot be the sleeper anyway. So it must be someone other than these waker, dreamer and sleeper, other than these three, who is the overseer. Like man is other than the brother, the son and a friend. These three are expressing. Can they express without man? Not possible. But when you get lost into being a brother, then you forget you are a man. When you get lost being a son, then you forget you are a man. When you get lost in being a friend, you forget you are a man. But if you are a man and you never forget that you are a man, you will play those three roles and never forget that you are the man. Now come to this. As a waker, do we remember we are the one who is other than the waker? We must know. So waker, dreamer, sleeper come and go, but the one who knows that these three are coming, going. Right now you are all nodding, so which means you know. So these waker, dreamer, sleeper, don't become that. Be the one who is transcendental to that. That is your true nature. That's the infinite power. That's the infinite one. That is the Adhyatma. Before I was telling you Adhyatma is the mind. Now I'm taking one step further, going beyond the mind. So that is the one who knows mind is coming and going. Gacchati iva. Here it says, yat etad gacchati gachat iva cha manaha. The one which goes and goes, we can say. Comes is not written there, but I am saying it. So, etad brahma dhaukata iva vishayi karotiva. So, he is saying, from Brahman's point of view, there is nothing apart from it. From water's point of view, there is nothing apart from it. Everything is it only. People may say there is ocean and wave, but water is water only. We may say that I am the watcher of the mind. But once you come to that constant principle, it is one without a second. It is pervading the mind also. It is the material with which the mind is also made. So when mind is functioning through the senses and interacting with the objects of the world, is it interacting with something other, or is it interacting with itself? Water interacting with water, a wave is created, isn't it? Water interacting with water, a wave is created. Similarly, mind interacting with mind, an object is created. A sankalp is created, thought is created. So, in other words, reality playing with reality. And that is the truth. This is the Adhyatmic. So we are trying to find a way to come and sit near this knowledge that at Adi Bhautik level, what we are interacting with is nothing. The interactor is the reality, and what interacted is the reality, or the expression. Whatever is happening in our life, which is in our control, is expression of reality. Adi Daivik, those things which are not in our control, they are also expressions of reality. Now it is taken internal. So what is that is happening inside? That is also nothing but the reality. Now what has happened? There is no place you can escape. Everywhere there is reality only. And once, if you are remaining objective in approach, then there is a possibility of fall. But if you take it subjectively, story over. And that will come as we go ahead. So here he says, Yaccha anena manasa etad brahma upasmarati samipatah smarati sadhakah abhikshnam bhrusham. And those sadhaka purusha, and the one who keeps remembering, here it is point smarati. So those sadhakas, those seekers who continuously remember the constant principle, the pratyagatma, the indivisible principle, the constant principle. Which is the constant principle? Who knows that every day waking, dream and deep sleep come and go. That fellow, not the waker. If you can come to again and again come to that fellow, the unchanging, constant Pratyagatma, while interacting in your daily activities with the gross world or the controlled events or uncontrolled events. It is told, this is the instruction that is given. So, which in other words, instruction is that when you are interacting with the controlled or uncontrolled, Adi Bhautik and Adi Daivik, bring your mind's attention to the self again and again, just like Indra did. Then this is the instruction. This is the third instruction that is given now. Adhyatmic instruction. Sankalpascha manasaha brahma vishayaha. The sankalpa of the mind is the one. Sankalpa means thought. Thoughts in the mind are those which make that infinite take an objective form. So, mind without thoughts is what? Mind without thoughts is reality. Mind without thoughts is self. Mind without thoughts is infinity. And that you are. So why you feel that you are a limited? Why you feel you are only this much? Because you are thinking that way. Stop thinking. This is what happens when you break your shackles. Whether at physical level, whether at sensory level, when they say clairaudience, clairvoyant, when siddhis come, means they are breaking the shackles of body identification. You are invoking that energy initially the energy only, or your attention is on that infinite, but he is expressing as energy. You are invoking that energy, and that energy is infinite. It is not limited. You have made it. You have crystallized the energy, and that crystallization of energy is this body. Dissolve. How do you dissolve? How do you dissolve it? By thinking about, like Indra was thinking about the constant principle. Everything will start melting. Automatically the vision will change, experience will change, vision will change. You automatically get reformatted. And as you are getting reformatted, without doing anything, your potential is increasing. Even at the physical, mental, psychological level, you don't have to increase your potential physically. You can increase your potential merely by focusing on the potential. Means potential is always of the mind. Potential is always of the faculties. How do you increase your potential? I can do the exercise up, down, left, right. So what will happen by this exercise? My eyes will become better. Then for the ears I have to do special exercise. Then for the nose I have to do special exercise. For the tongue I have to pull the tongue and make it longer. For arms, legs I have to do special exercise. This is special exercise. Shirdi Sai Baba, this is out of the topic, but Shirdi Sai Baba used to take apart all his limbs and then used to put them back together. He never did any exercise. How? How? our little bit happens, oh baapre, I am so tired, I am so exhausted, nowadays I got this pain in the hip and I am complaining. See, because we have accepted we are only this body. Important thing is, in and through any experience, if our mind's attention is, every objective experience is transporting the mind to the infinite. Every experience or objective experience is transporting the mind to the infinite. Then we are in the right. This is the instruction that is given. And sometimes we do it by default. Some people, Om अपने आप आ गया ना. So it's at the throat level. Is it at the mind level? Was my attention when the burp came and automatic Om came? Om is a word for the divine, but was the attention of the mind on the infinite, or it's only a default? That only you know. हर चीज़ के लिए हम राम राम करते हैं, हरिओम करते हैं, but is it a default setting, or is your attention really on that infinite with every experience? Sankalpascha manasaha brahma vishayah. So whatever mind is thinking, sankalpa is thinking. Whatever it is thinking, that thinking alone becomes the form, the color, the smell. That's how it comes about. Without mind you cannot have senses. Without senses you cannot have the objects. Understand this. Without the eyes you can't see anything. The objects have got no meaning. Without the ears, sounds have got no meaning. And are the ears holding on to any sound? No. So are the ears hearing the sound for themselves? No. Then for whom they are hearing? They are hearing for the mind. Eyes are seeing, taking in the forms for the mind. Nose is smelling for the mind. Tongue is tasting nice sambar for the, or the dal khichdi for the mind. What is mind thinking? Is the mind thinking for himself? No. Mind is continuously having one thought after another thought. For whom? It cannot be for himself. Just like eyes don't see anything for themselves, mind also doesn't think for himself. For whom? For the infinite one. Not the ego one. Get the ego out of the way. For the infinite. For that divine one. For that yaksha. So before, just like all these gods were saying, I did it. No, because of him you are. So because of him, the Indra is, the mind is. Because of him, all the senses are. Because of him, the whole world is. So our mind's attention, with every thought is always objective in nature. With every thought, our attention of the mind must go to the substratum, to the constant principle, to the unchanging principle, which cannot be other than the self. We'll continue next week. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Sit quietly for a few moments.